Hello, my name is Sheila Waswa, the founder Chasing Mavericks. Chasing Mavericks is a PR and branding company. We basically do corporate events management, so summits, expos, conferences. We also do branding and marketing and corporate consultancy on capacity building trainings. We are the organizers of the Agenda Afrika Debate, which is the first of its kind, a sober and objective platform that discusses socio-economic and political matters affecting Africans. Our first series was on the motion, Be It Resolved, Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency. And we're excited because this event was a foundation to a conference that we are organizing on the 27th and 28th of July, the Kenya Blockchain and Crypto Conference. We look forward to having all of you there. Until then, take care.
So my name is Dennis Mutinda. I'm the operations manager for Chasing Mavericks. Chasing Mavericks is a PR company. We do events like this. So you're most welcome. I have my team here. If I can quickly introduce them. Hillary is our IT guy.
Hi. Yeah, my name is Hillary, Chasing Maverick, IT department.
Okay, I think there are also people up and down. So you're most welcome. Let's have fun. The Maxis, where are the other guys? No, I take back my words. Yeah, so let's have fun. I hope you're educational. Kamusidao, I hope everybody has submitted their award over there. If you've not, please ensure that when the history of the encyclopedia of Bitcoin is being produced, you guys are there. So you're most welcome. Have fun.
This debate is very structured. That means as much as we're going to have a lot of fun, we'll also want to have order, right? So we'll have fun in a very orderly way, okay? So I'm going to probably just share the ground rules, and then we'll have Jerop who will introduce the debate, and then we'll go straight to introducing the debaters, and then kick off. That is okay? One of the ground rules is that there must be proper time management. So this is how we are going to do it. We are going to have the first 20 minutes, each debater having 5 minutes of introductory remarks. So they'll do 5 minutes of introductory remarks each, and the minute, it's almost 30 seconds to the end of their time. On the screens, there'll be a timer from 30 seconds to 29 seconds to 0. When it gets 0, wherever your statement was, you stop. Are we in agreement? Yes, so that will be one of the important things to note, and I think for each and every session that will be going on, we'll be able to update in terms of progress.
Hi guys, are you excited like I am? Yes. My name is Faiza, and most of you are meeting me for the first time, and I am a founder of CryptoHubKe. I am nothing, completely nothing without you guys. I am so excited that you showed up today. Can you clap for yourself? Appreciate yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for showing up. I think we just want to get into it, right? Let's get into it, then we can interact later.
We've come to that point, okay? First of all, if you've not voted, we are closing the polls. We'll want to see the polls before the debaters get on stage. So if you've not voted, ladies, did you get a chance? Sasa sai nakuja pole pole. I humble myself. Yeah? All right. Okay. We have the proposers. Is that percentage? Numbers. So out of a total of 64 who have voted, 60. Why is it 65 and the votes are only 64? Where is this other one person? It's updating. So should I wait? All right. So those who are saying that Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency are 27. Those who are opposing that Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency are 38. Let's keep the numbers. Numbers don't lie, right? Call on stage. The first debater to call on stage is a Ugandan Bitcoin maxi and a podcaster with a passion for educating people about sound money, pursuit of purpose, and an advocate for healthy lifestyle choices. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome for Brindon Mwiine. Please, have a seat on this side.
The second opposer is Master Guantai.
All right. On the opposite side, we have Eugene Mutai, who is our Web3. Guys. Hello? These people took time to write these profiles. Sinisome kwanza, then you shout. Sindio? Aya. So Eugene Mutai, listen up. Eugene Mutai is a Web3 entrepreneur and engineer, currently building Summertime, a DeFi platform that unleashes the full potential of liquidity providers in automated market makers. All right.
Milan Leshan was once a Bitcoin maxi. You need to know why. He changed. Was a Bitcoin maxi and a co-founder of CryptoHubKe. Welcome.
All right, Brindon and Master Guantai, who will start us off? Great. Please remember you have 5 minutes.
The clock starts
now.
So the clock starts now. The Bitcoin clock has been going since 2009. So my name is Brindon Mwiine. What I do doesn't matter. What matters is what we are going to talk about today. I invite you to join me on a journey to learn about money, not just any form of money, but currency that will help you. Currency that will be on your side when you work hard. All right? We're good? You want to feel that Museveni accent, eh? We'll get to that. Now, I'm a Bitcoin maxi made from the pains of the people who are seated on this opposite side. So I will be speaking from utter experience. I have worked with FTX that crashed. And I have worked with Celsius. I've invested in it. I had a bag in Luna. All those projects I said, nowhere. So being here and discussing Bitcoin as there are 2-3 words that will be highlighted in this debate. Only, true, and currency. We are not looking for just any crypto. You want to buy a service on the internet, you're supposed to pay with this crypto. No, we are looking for something that is true and the only one. Now, I'll just define a few terms. Currency. Currency is basically money. All of us paid currency to get here, right? You paid whether through M-Pesa, some of us paid through Bitcoin. I don't know if these guys paid through which coin? They are like 1,500 and... Oh, the number grew. I stopped counting. When I lost all that bag, it became boring. So anyway, I would just like to give a highlight of how we get to cryptocurrency. We have come all the way from exchanging value by meeting down the road at the market, and I give you my cow, you give me sugar. It has moved to, this time around, I don't want your sugar, but take this piece of gold, take this piece of silver, keep it, and when it's time for you to redeem the service you've just offered me now, you can take it to someone else and they will give you value. So behind every form of money, there should be hard work, right? There should be value creation. So the history of money gets interesting when we reach the gold era, because gold is not in the control of anyone except Mother Nature. Central banks are like what my opponents are doing. They find something that is finite and they come and they put it in their control and they create something that is infinite, which leads me to the next stage, which is the fiat that we use now. The reason the gentleman said gold is secured by banks, by central banks, is because there is a group of people that realized, oh, so there is no way I can produce more gold. Ah, okay. So I'll just take control of the gold and make a paper that I can always print. When I want to fly out to the hospital to get my wife to give birth in the US, I just go and talk to my Bank of Kenya friend. I tell him, man, we need more currency. People are broke. When I need to win an election, I will tell the central bank to add more money. And that is what they call inflation. Before we had the fiat standard, there was no inflation. The rich countries were rich. That's why all of them were coming here. But since they came here and picked the gold, they now send us dollars. And we back our Kenyan shillings, our Ugandan shillings on those dollars.
Hi everyone. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for the organizers for inviting me to this debate. I go by, my government names are Guantai Kadurima, but officially I am Master Guantai, your favorite toxic Bitcoin maximalist from the 254. So for me, basically, I'm not here to save the whales or anything. As the motion clearly states, Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency. And what we mean by that, our opposers on this side will come up with very many convoluted discussions about how technical things, how they want to develop this and that or the other. But at the end of the day, for me, the thing is very clear. We have real world problems that need a solution. Mi mwenyewe ni Mkenya, mini boys Mkenya, I'm through from the 254 yangu yote born and bred. So I identify with problems like youth unemployment, with Ricky G and Ruto saying that they can manipulate the price of the dollar to just come down. If you cannot see a problem in that, then it's you who has the problem. So Bitcoin solves this. So for me specifically, I do not need to take the whole of 5 minutes to, I just want this to get started quick, fast, raka minus slow. So for us, our main agenda and our main point is that Bitcoin is money. And Bitcoin solves real-world solutions. Like, I can give you examples we are very privileged to have like Marcel here from Bitcoin Dada. Like she's actually in real life teaching ladies about the Bitcoin standards. These are ladies who can learn about Bitcoin and then take their skills and talents and competencies and then based on the unemployment we have, know how to create real value in the Bitcoin space for them to earn gainful employment without relying on any baby daddy or this and that or the other and get their own cash. Ladies, am I speaking to someone here? So when I say Bitcoin is like real world solutions, let's not pontificate about how I can tweak Polkadot to do this and that or the other. I want the other side to tell me nani mse wake ya kinyozi ama mse wake ya chipo ama mse wake ya nini accepts Monero for a haircut. Sawa? Let's not waste our time na mambo. Si mambo kwa kazi, mambo kwa ground ni story. Sasa. So, shika.
Wow, so those are some tough words, and you can see me clapping also. I identify with most of the sentiments being brought out. But I have a catch. Before I submit my catch, I'm Milan Leshan, co-founder CryptoHubKe, and as you heard, for now I identify as a semi-maxi. I was once a maxi, but I had to take a step back and look at the broader view of things, okay? So I'm glad that my friends on the left have mentioned a thing about world problems, real world solutions, okay? Now, it is important, and our friend from Uganda also has mentioned about the history of money. Humanity, the history of humanity isn't about the history of money, okay? It is included, the history of money and the history of humanity is just part of everything else that is coming, that is evolving. So if you want to talk about real world solutions, then you have to talk about real world solutions in totality, not just about money, okay? And we are glad that, we give homage to Satoshi Nakamoto, brought out a very powerful thing, Bitcoin. But again, it brought out a technology that can help us scale and actually address the world problems in totality, okay? So the question here is, can Bitcoin match up to the real world solutions? Yeah. If no, then it can't be the only true cryptocurrency, right? Also, I'm glad that my friend Guantai mentioned something about, governance politics. I myself have a high agility in terms of governance and politics. My agility is way, way above 21 million. So I'll be glad to engage him on that also, and maybe he can tell me how Bitcoin in its technicality can help solve things like, we're having a problem, we just came out of an election, and too unfortunate that our Ugandan friends, maybe they haven't had elections for eternity. So maybe by the end of this, we'll be able to understand why there's a need for scalability, that going back to Jinja, Uganda, maybe tomorrow, the next day, he can understand that, okay, I can take something that can bring change on my country. that further from Bitcoin. Thank you.
Welcome, Eugene.
Have you noticed Bitcoin people talk too much? They're not building. Why? There's nothing to build. As a matter of fact, Bitcoin could have just been an application in Ethereum. Very simple. And then we just plug in, then we plug in the energy consuming pollutant systems they use to cause global climate. Who has a coin? Who has a coin? Any form of cash? Any form of cash? Any coin? Any coin? Okay. So it's very simple if you want to understand Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just like the coin you have in your pocket. The only difference is it's deflationary. If you want to understand Ethereum, it's like that laptop. So can you compare a coin and a laptop? No. It's too powerful. It's incredibly powerful. It can do a lot. It can write documents. It can create jobs, right? So I'll name. So now I'll just say.
Just 1 minute. Let's remember that the time that we take in the middle giving, we can be a bit orderly and just make sure that we don't eat into the time. The timer has stopped. Don't worry. The timer has stopped. And then also let's remember that it's the debater giving points. If you have opinions, you'll stick with them until the time for question and answer or the time for expert opinion sessions. Thank you.
Was I done?
Continue. You have 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, so Bitcoin has introduced a couple of things like Lightning Network. There's Bitcoin scripting, which is just a joke, honestly, compared to like the true smart contracts that are written in Ethereum virtual machines. Yeah, ZK Sync, or should like Ethereum has introduced a lot of things over the period of its time. Can I mention a few? Automated market makers, decentralized exchanges, concentrated liquidity, DAOs, layer 2s, privacy systems like ZK Sync and ZKM. All I know from Bitcoin is Bitcoin, Lightning Network, and they're done.
All right. We are going to move to the next session. Now, to the real thing, to the real explanation of why we are here. And we're starting from the proposer side, right? That is the repeatable and cross-examination by proponent. 8 minutes each.
So I noticed something. My brother already agrees. No one is debating the laptop. You are wrong. We are not debating use case. We are not debating what you want to do, the change you want to make. We are debating the money that you're going to use. You can create all the change you want to create without giving it its own individual currency. You can innovate, you can solve people's problems without creating a Z-Sync coin, an Ethereum coin, a Monero coin. So every time you're going to the shop, you're supposed to pay the shopkeeper in their own coin. Doesn't make sense. So I do not want us to start off from the wrong pace. Let us not confuse you people, good people here. Bitcoiners are not against helping, whatever help he says. Trust me, we want elections in Uganda. But we don't want to use another token to vote. Right? So for us, our point here is not to stop you from building the next generation laptop. Our point here is, whenever you build the next generation laptop, I should have the money I saved 10 years ago that will buy it for me. So, as I move on, let's go ahead and innovate. Let's build the smart contracts. How many of us agree that marriage is a contract? Imagine if you had to buy a token for every time you got married. And every time you got married, you had to buy the contract from a different platform. Because smart contracts can happen without money, without new coins. You have a contract with your children to look after them. You don't need to design a coin for that. You don't need to design a coin. This one is for cutting my hair. This one is for when I want to use the taxi. This one is for when I want I don't know, man. Those guys know what they do. But for me, the understanding that I have in this debate is innovation does not need its own currency. Innovation deserves to find there a currency that facilitates it to grow. Second point of information. He talked about innovation on the Bitcoin blockchain. You guys, sometimes I just need to correct people. Let me stand up, actually. Brother, the last time you checked on Bitcoin, we had Lightning, right? Yes. Right now, we have drive chains, we have side chains, we have every other innovation like crowdfunding, everything you guys do on that side. We still use one currency. One, you do not need to pay different monies to get different services. Our problem is not what you're solving. My brother, go ahead, build the whole, like, make tokens, make buildings on the blockchain. But when you do, it's very important to use money that can be received by your grandmother, because your grandmother wants to have a share of that innovation. I want to challenge you today and answer this question honestly. Would you send your mother would you encourage your grandmother, someone in the village, to buy this thing? We don't need a lot of coins. We can do what we are purposed here to do as human beings, change people's good life, give them better access to services using one coin. And the reason why Bitcoin presents a better case for that is because everyone can look into Bitcoin. Everyone. Each individual who is here can open their phone and know how many transactions were made today. And no one will change that truth. I can go back to 2010 and I will know which transaction happened on this date today. I know he will say that he can do it. But most blockchains have been changed. Most blockchains have been edited. By the time the transaction was made in 2009, they had, 12 million, 2,000 billion. They have their currency. There's already like a lot of numbers. Like, why 1 billion? Like, by the time they made a transaction, it was 1 billion. Now they have hard forked it. They have added a smart contract, and now all over currencies, it's 10 times of what it was. That's what the banks do to us. You said 8-8, please. We read the rules. So just like Bitcoin, the rules are set in stone. Let's not kill the time. Since Bitcoin was created, guys, I want to tell you this, and this will be the most important thing you take away. Since Bitcoin code was written by Satoshi Nakamoto, it has never changed. I want someone who has been here more than 10 years. Let's not talk about tokens that are being made yesterday. Let's talk about tokens that have been here on the market. Let them stand here and tell me that as a currency that people can trust to be true, has stayed with rules that are set in stone for that long. We want a currency that we know that when you keep, your children will find there. The rules will not change. And it is very important to also remember, on top of doing all that, you need to widen your scope of usage. Bitcoin widens that. You're able to transact with anyone in the world with Bitcoin. You're able to tap. I want to make this challenge. Everyone who has a smartphone, download Bitcoin Beach Wallet. I and Master Guantai will be sending each of us 2,000 sats just to demo for you.
I will also send the ladies who have the Bitcoin Beach Wallet.
And do you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why? Not because it was airdropped, guys. No, there was no airdrop. I worked, she worked, he worked, and we want to share the value of our work with you. It's very important to go away from this debate knowing that it is not about the innovation. The innovation has no problem. Whatever they are doing has no problem. But if we are going to talk about only true and cryptocurrency, let's leave that debate.
I appreciate the input from my friend. It's pretty emotional. I understand. And he has raised some issues that you can build without issuing a currency. Now, my friend, Bitcoin, when Satoshi Nakamoto penned the white paper, he defined Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer currency. Okay? So in whatever way that you might want to view it or you might want to understand it, at the end of the day, by sunset, it's a digital currency. Okay? And the mother, on October 31st, that is 2008, before that, the term blockchain did not exist. It was actually first mentioned in the Bitcoin white paper. Okay? Now, by introducing blockchain technology, it's also important to understand that he didn't work miracles. No. These technologies existed way before. For instance, the proof of work, it didn't start in 2008. No. It started way back in 1993 by some beautiful ladies. Yeah? And it was envisioned in 1997, basically to prevent email spams in the early stages of the internet. But you have to interrogate between 1997 up to when the internet evolved from Microsoft Edge to now Chrome to all these other browsers. Is the proof of work still applicable in preventing denial of service attacks and spams, email spams? Obviously no. Until it was given a life again in 2008 by Satoshi Nakamoto. So you have to ask yourself, what went wrong? It simply projects to you that humans evolve, and they evolve with the problems and the challenges that come by. Okay? Bitcoin did well in solving issues related with currency, inflation, double spending, privacy, and all that. But that was not the end of world problems. World problems doesn't revolve around privacy, don't revolve around inflation, don't revolve around double spending. That was the banking sector. The idea of Bitcoin brought about blockchain technology that can be used to solve so many other world problems. And just to mention one of them, for the benefit of, again, my Ugandan friend, is that there's something called blockchain voting, okay? A decentralized way, still a decentralized way. We all agree that the best form of governance is decentralization. And that was termed by the many Kenyans in the room back in 2010, when we coined in or we voted in the new constitution. We said yes to devolution. Devolution is basically decentralization of governance, okay? So that was the first step. And if you look well enough, even after we said yes to devolution, have all our problems disappeared. What does that tell you? There is need to further break down and scale down on devolution and decentralization, okay? Now, the issue of you can build without issuing a currency. I like my friends on the Marxist side to tell me the rate or how fast is it to develop a project on the Bitcoin blockchain, all right? Because number one, before the invention of the Lightning Network in 2016, or it was proposed in 2016 and came to life around maybe 2019, it's actively being used right now. Before that, Bitcoin blockchain can only, and up to now, it can only process 7 transactions in a second, okay? Compared to Visa, an existing old technology in another traditional banking financial model, it can process about 25,000 transactions per second, okay? So even the developers in the Bitcoin blockchain knew that they needed to scale, okay? Now, if the Bitcoin blockchain cannot scale to catch up with our problems as fast as possible, then there is need for a new blockchain, okay? And a new blockchain obviously comes with its own rules. I've had my friends complain about, you are decentralizing time. My friend, we are in this world, we are humans. We cannot live without order, okay? So in whatever, you can talk about decentralization and everything, but at the end of the day, rules have to apply, all right? Even the blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain itself has its own rules, despite being decentralized. That can't be changed. And the same applies to other blockchains that are coming in right now. Now, it is also important to understand that when you are building, it comes along with challenges. Mistakes do happen, and we learn from those mistakes. The reason why the Bitcoin blockchain came into life is because of the failure of the traditional financial system. That was a mistake, okay? Now, a mistake again that has happened on the Bitcoin blockchain has led to the birth of other blockchains. So you cannot fault other blockchains for not being loyal to the Bitcoin blockchain. That is, on my side, selfish and nepotic. All right? Now, on to another. I want to make a case about when you want to understand the history of technology, you have to look at history, also the human problems that we have. Now, I'm particularly drawn to the current issues to do with climate change and everything. It's pretty popular. Now, I have my own opinions on that, but there have been reports and numerous reports about the Bitcoin blockchain, or the Bitcoin mining to be specific, contributing to climate change. While I don't agree with many of the assumptions in those reports, there are some important issues that needs to be addressed, because we are living in a world that energy is going up, and we want to use that energy to manufacture value, right? So, do we sacrifice our resources that we could invest in renewable energy and channel it to manufacture value, while there is a child up north in Northeastern mwenye hana stima? No, we are not being fair to ourselves. So in the interest of time, I'll stop at that first and maybe give the other side a chance to respond.
Thank you very much. I'll take less than 1 minute to debunk all the lies he has just told us. Quick, fast, Haraka, slow, it's 4 points. He only had 4 lies which he has told us. Number 1, he didn't tell us Satoshi Nakamoto didn't invent the blockchain, yes. But he didn't mention that he solved the Byzantine general's problem. So that was the solution that he gave for actually Bitcoin to exist. Number 2, devolution. Devolution is not working in Kenya simply because our politicians are corrupt as fuck. They steal money, we all know that, so let us not waste our time. Number 3, when it comes to like Bitcoin not being fast and everything, there is layer 2. Like me, if I send Marcel right now Bitcoin, if you put four phones here, one I'm sending sats to Marcel through Machankura or Bitnob or Blink, and the other one you're sending money to whoever through M-Pesa, mine will flicker fast. Solved. The last one was, yes, the last one was climate change. Bitcoin is boiling the oceans. We have very many beautiful ladies over here. They took their time to apply makeup, they have weaves and everything. Why aren't all the cosmetics and everything they are using boiling the oceans? It's just that the 1% Bitcoin is using is the one which is boiling the fucking oceans. Yes. So I'm done. Yes. So, thank you. For me, my points are 3. Number 1, I have 3 points. Number 1 being, I've named them Mambo Kwa Ground, Incentives, and Politics. Mambo Kwa Ground, 1. If you're not using Polkadot, Monero, all of that nonsense to transact or anything, there's nothing you're telling us. Long story short, is a Mzungu does this shit and pre-mines a coin, wants to pump his bags, pre-mines all that shit, brings the money here to Kenya, and saying time is up. Have you changed the smart contract or what is happening here? Let me go even to the politics, like, because this is a real issue affecting all of us. Like the political scene, as you mentioned, in regards to the evolution, like politics here, like it's not really working here in Kenya. So like we must be very cognizant that if we have a government that is not working for us, because how can we as Kenyans be talking about drought and starvation in 2023? We had maandamano and everything, and Baba, I won't say which side of the political divide, but when you have maandamano and everything, even the like investors and everything don't want to come invest here in Kenya. And maandamano can actually lead to post-election violence. So me, all I'm saying in regards to Bitcoin is, do you want that single mother of 3 in Eldoret who's a Kikuyu for her house to be burned down at midnight? She cannot access M-Pesa, her phone has been stolen, she doesn't have an ID, so she doesn't have an ATM. Do you want to deny her money because you want to pontificate about how you can develop this, that, or the other? No. My last final point is, when we say Bitcoin is the best cryptocurrency, it's just because, like, it is the best. It is the best because it is money, it was the first, and everything else which comes after it is people. Yes, in Africa, in Kenya, we have very talented ladies and gentlemen who can build things and we can appreciate them and then can go very far in life. But stop picking things which have already been done. If this is the sun, stop making the sun Coca-Cola because there is the sun and there is already Coca-Cola in the market. So I don't understand you when you try to tell me that you're trying to build a better, faster, whatever, but denying at the end of the day that there's a layer 2 in Bitcoin, which you can actually get instantaneous settlement. And when I say instant settlement, what I mean is there's a young guy in Kibra. He is an artist. That kind of guy cannot afford to come to West to put his artwork like over there at a gallery because he needs to pay that money. But for him, for Bitcoin Mtaani to go actually to him, and for me, I'm not charging him a single cent, and I'm not being paid by any shitcoiner company to go in Kibra and do that work. I'm going myself to show him how he can create a free website. From there, how he can accept instant settlement in sats. Maybe he doesn't have an ID because he's a newbie, he doesn't have a birth certificate. But through Bitcoin and everything, he can receive money. Someone can appreciate his art from California to Kilelesho to Kilimani to Lavington, wherever. And this Bitcoin will make his ends meet, and he'll be able to, first of all, sustain himself, sustain his family, save in a currency that, regardless of the social, economic, or political nonsense that happens to him, that Ricky G can control but he cannot control, he still has his or her own money. So we can spend all day talking about how Vitalik did this and did that and didn't sleep, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin is the one and only and true cryptocurrency. Thank you.
Ethereum is deflationary. It's actually deflationary and inflationary at the same time. EIP 159, which is technically a proposal which was shipped 6 months ago, allowed Ethereum to be banned whenever a transaction takes place. So Ethereum can actually become deflationary depending on the volume of usage, which is actually increasing exponentially on an yearly basis. Now, it's also inflationary and programmed to max out at 2% a year, but that also depends on the volume of transactions. As I told you, the more volumes in transactions, the more it burns, so it actually becomes deflationary too. 3, it's a platform too. Not only is it just money, it's actually a supercomputer. It's a decentralized supercomputer. So like, imagine having cash that can actually also do things without you being there. Like, it's for you. And also the last part is Ethereum. You remember that 2 Ethereums? When you stake Ethereum, you actually earn. Because you know what? Whenever somebody actually does any transaction, for example, when you move an asset, which is a token, or let's shitcoins, when an asset is moved, when a loan is generated, when a purchase is made, when an exchange is made, when a DAO is started, when a vote is made, all of those actions contribute to the Ethereum machine, because you have to use Ethereum to do those tasks, meaning Ethereum actually is consumable. It's a consumable asset. It's a commodity that you have to actually use. And when you use it, those people who actually support the network benefit from it by actually earning from it. I don't think anything like that happens in Bitcoin at all. Hakuna, so the only way you can actually create Bitcoin is through proof of work. Basically, the machines itself. Yeah? What? You're not smart. You can't work smart. Yeah. So now, anyway, as I said, so from a currency standpoint, Ethereum is king, to be honest, because it's the only triple point asset that actually exists on the planet. Remember I said it's the only triple point currency that exists on the planet. Okay, now moving on, let's go back to innovation. If you look at CoinGecko, I mean, Bitcoin maxis don't look at CoinGecko. I know. Yes. If you look at CoinGecko, everything below Ethereum and Bitcoin itself have been driven by decentralized computing systems. Now, how do you create real wealth? You know how you create real wealth? Do you take your money and put it under a pillow? Do you take your Bitcoin and put it lock it in what is it called? These wallets they call hardware wallets. No. Real wealth is created when the value is created. What is value? Companies start. Uber, Bolt, Google, Microsoft, right? And how does those companies start on Ethereum? They build on top of Ethereum. And then we buy those shitcoins. And well, you know those shitcoins are the equivalent to buying shares in different companies like Safaricom, Amazon, Google, and so on. Yeah. And when you do that, the difference is, unlike centralized platforms like Amazon that started with a few people and those few people actually benefited at the top, everybody has an equal chance to be rich through the Ethereum platform. Otherwise, Bitcoin people are waiting for Bitcoin to get to $1 million. That's all. So, as I said, Ethereum is a triple point. It's the only triple point currency. And second, innovation is required to allow everybody to generate wealth.
I'm a smart contract developer. Sorry, guys. And so I'll just give an opinion about everything about blockchain. And so I'm going to ask a question. What is Bitcoin? And what is blockchain? So blockchain is the underlying technology that any coin or cryptocurrency can be built on, or any other application can be built on top of the blockchain. So what we can do for Bitcoin blockchain is that we can use Bitcoin as a baseline for any technology or any innovation that we want to do. In terms of the blockchain trilemma, that is scalability, security, and decentralization. So when you're building blockchains or when you're building solutions, are solutions scalable? Are they decentralized? Are they scalable? Or do they offer security? Yeah. The other thing is when it comes to coins and tokens, different tokens have different functionalities. They have different roles and they have different purpose. We have to look at them in such terms. What is the purpose? What is the function of this coin? What is the role does this coin play in the ecosystem or in the entire world? Yeah. The other thing is, yes, we may say Bitcoin was the first coin to be created, but value had to be transacted. People had to do the Bitcoin. People had to do the pizza transfer. Yeah. Any coin, I'll go with Bonga points. Bonga points used to be just any random tokens. Yeah. But the value was generated as it goes. Yeah? People started seeing the value. Right now, Safaricom and M-Pesa has a way that you can be able to protect your Bonga points. So that's how you create real value from the token itself and from. Okay, sorry guys. we were speaking about Bonga point and creation of value. Yeah. So that's how value is created. There is no way you can just build something and let it sit. Yeah. You have to transact that value. And when I said we have to create, or we have to have Bitcoin as the baseline of what we are building and what we are creating for the ecosystem, is we need to evaluate, does this solution work for us? Yeah? Does it work for us? And when you are building it, we build with purpose, we build with functionality, we build with a role that it plays in the ecosystem. So we have had a lot of solutions. These guys really mentioned a lot about the blockchain development and how it came to be. We have Shannon, Crowd Shannon, who did the work of game theory. We had Nick Zabon, who started the work of Bitcoin Gold. It has been a work of a lot of people building the blockchain or the Bitcoin itself before Satoshi came. There was a lot of heavy lifting from people, and that's why we have Bitcoin. But we, as time went by, Vitalik saw that there is a need to kind of abstract some of these resources or these technologies that people can be able to build on top of it, so that people can be able to leverage on this technology and be able to benefit from it. We keep on talking about financial inclusion, but what I've seen is it's just a war within the different communities. We are building this protocol, we are building this blockchain, but at the end of the day, do the users get the real value? Do the users get to really send that value to the others? So what I would pose in the community is that, are we building solutions that have purpose? Are we building solutions that really have a role in the society? Because even if you go to Mtaani or anywhere you go and ask them about what is Bitcoin or what is Ethereum or what is blockchain, wanakwambia hiyo ni ile kitu ya watu wajanja. That is true. That is true. But the value was created for people. The decentralization was created for the people. So we need to decentralize. And the key word is decentralize all these applications. Yeah? Decentralize application. Make them accessible to people. Make them accessible to people in an easy way, in an intuitive way that people can be able to access this money. Yeah? So the other thing is, let me just. So as we look on the baseline, as Bitcoin being the baseline, there is chances that we're gonna be able to see other blockchains coming up, and even people have been innovating in money for a very long time. We started from cowrie shells to gold, copper, metal coins, and plastic money, that is the Visa cards and everything. And they have been continuing innovating on the money. And what that means is that in the future, we may also have other technologies that may be able to come and maybe overtake what we have right now in terms of how solutions are being created. Yeah. So the future is yeah. the future, yes, is decentralized, but the future is not yet built, and we are building it right now with all these other technologies that we have. Yeah. The key thing is, how do we make sure that the value maintains? Yeah. That the value gets to the people. Yeah. The other thing was on okay. the other thing was on how oh God. Okay. Okay, the other thing was, let me just check. Yep. So the other thing was on the value, or how we have already talked about how we create value and the strengths, not the strengths. So different coins have different strengths and they have different value. So if we go back to the origin of all what money is and its characteristic, we have divisibility. We have divisibility, limited in supply, and also widely accepted by the community. So what drives most of these coins to be used by or to be adopted by the community is community, how community accepts. Now the Bitcoin ecosystem has a very wide users, yeah? But that does not mean that other coins don't have users. They have to be, you have to be, like the way we have different supermarkets, there is that urge which makes you to go to that supermarket, yeah? There is something that really makes you to go to that supermarket. And then you get a royalty point on that supermarket, yeah? Because there is something, maybe it's convenient for you, maybe it's close to your home or something. Maybe your mother used to like go to that supermarket when you are young, and you see that you don't want to change or something. But we do need to understand different communities have different needs, and they do have different problems. So when you are creating a technology, M-Pesa really works well for us here in Africa, or I mean in Kenya. But if you go to other countries, it doesn't really work that well. It's not the perfect solution for those countries. Yeah. If you go to the US or if you go to other countries, they already have good systems. Yeah, monetary systems and such. But if you come to Africa, other African countries don't even have good solutions for how they do their transaction. So you have to take a look at the community. What problems are you solving in the community? And I think I can have a, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not a hater of Bitcoin either. In fact, Master is a great friend of mine. He actually gifted me Bitcoin hard wallet, which I use it. I store my Bitcoin in there. But I want to say something. I am a big beneficiary of the latest airdrop, which was ARB. Who can give you $10,000 for free? I'm not saying I got that $10,000 for free, right? But I want to say something. We want to put food on table, right? Is that what we want? We want to help our people be able to put food on table, get the jobs, be able to grow, be able to address so many solutions. But Bitcoin on this other side, I feel like sometimes Bitcoin people are so close-minded. They need to explore this other side. Because this other side, we have ZK Zinc coming up. We have Lens protocol. We have layer 0. And we want to mine for it, right? So what I'm simply saying is, I need the Bitcoin people to open your mind. Explore.
Hello, my name is Silas. I'm here representing myself. And yes, I'm a proposer, Bitcoin till I die, long live Satoshi. And the main reason why I'm saying Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency is because if the internet shut down by any means, Bitcoin will still be working. Yes, okay, so for the speculators over there, for like the opposing team, maybe they are not technical of sort, but if they were more conversant with the Lightning Network, they would understand that within those contracts, with how it's built, it can survive. Even if the internet dies, Bitcoin will still be firm and the chains will still be intact.
I was coming to learn. So basically, I have 2 comments. I think both sides have been mentioning two keywords, innovation and value. And I kind of think we are almost, each side is defining, has its own definition of innovation and definition of value. For example, I think, on the Marxist side, innovation is, the fact that the product came and solved this issue of, the dynamics around inflation, around fiat. So that in itself, the fact that it opened the eyes of people to explore different processes around that is innovation. But for the other side, maybe there's innovation around, other use cases you could develop. So I think there's also like coming to terms at different places. The other thing is value, and with value. Yes, with value, I think my comment is, can we not look at value also from the context of, other than transactional value, what other value can we explore?
Anyone heard about it? You see, it's about our communities and what we accept as transactional value. Making everyone take what everyone wants seems limiting. But if we expand, we give an option for someone like the person you mentioned in Kibra to get an opportunity to use what he can't transact with the neighbor without a limiting value like the law. So this will help in expanding the community's economies, and this helps in selling out what we are calling as the community value. So let's expand and not limit.
Hi guys. So I'm Rufus Kamau. Right. I want to introduce a concept very quickly. The concept is called individual sovereignty. So I like to be very real. Earlier this month, the Central Bank of Kenya raised interest rates, okay? And that's about to affect everyone. If you have a freezer, you have any commercial product with any of our banks, you're going to get affected, okay? Did you get a vote? Did you get a voice? Okay, exactly. So when you talk about individual sovereignty, in any system, if a person or a group of persons can make exemptions or change the rules, which has been the major topic today, then that person or group is sovereign over you, okay? So Bitcoin is the only system where nobody and no group can have sovereignty over you, okay? So it basically equalizes everyone. So my question is, for instance, in these other coins, like Ethereum, I don't know what happened to their miners. There's a lot of people who are very sovereign against others in all these other coins. So my question is to you guys, how would you tell people to save or invest their value in a product where there are other groups that are sovereign over them?
Hello, guys. I'm Martin. I'm a forex trader. I don't believe in cryptocurrency, but anyway.
Hello, people. You are using up his 30 seconds on your laughter. Come on. All right, just listen.
Okay, a quick one. My friend over here said that even when the internet goes down, Bitcoin won't be affected. Bitcoin or cryptocurrency fully depends on the internet. Once it goes down, everything is done. Then the second question, for the Bitcoins. Bitcoin is like someone in Kibera who has the money, then she keeps it under the mattress. Then when there is mandamano, nyumba yake ichomwe, what happens? The person loses the money. It's the same thing as Bitcoin. What? Just a question. So my question is, what are the guarantees that in case, like you remember when, is it in 2020 or 2022? Just a minute, bro. Like in 2020, 2021, when Elon Musk said Bitcoin is the way, it hyped up to around $56,000. Then after around 8 months, 1 year, he said Bitcoin is a shitty whatever. The thing dropped from 56 to around 20, 25. So my question is, what guarantee do you have that that value of money, your value yako yenye uliweka pale, after 10 years, it will still be the same? Alafu, yeah, thanks.
I am a financial advisor with ICA Lion, pivoting into the Web3 space. Time. So, looking at the question was, Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency. Removing the noise of innovation and all of that, I would like to understand what properties makes Bitcoin the most, the one and only true cryptocurrency. Asante.
The name is Kilonzo. I represent myself again. So my question on Bitcoin and these other currencies is, you guys say that it is void of manipulation. But you see, you have some Bitcoin whales, where when they take away their value, the whole thing drops. So is the value of the coin pegged on a few big guys?
I'm the ambassador for Radix East Africa, I think. So I have a question. If Bitcoin solve the trilemma, scalability, security, and decentralization, and you find that the basic value we want, like with currencies and transactions, is about how much money can travel faster. If Bitcoin solves only 5 transactions per second and MasterCard solves 5,000 transactions per second, how is Bitcoin becoming scalable in that area?
Nico, and if you mention cryptocurrency, everyone knows about Bitcoin. But my concern with Bitcoin is that if we consider every factor, is that volatility. Bitcoin is a volatile cryptocurrency, and my concern is the volatility. If we check an example of application of Bitcoin in El Salvador, the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender, it failed. So my concern with Bitcoin is that the level of volatility can make it be considered as a Ponzi scheme.
Hello, my name is Kimani. Hello, my name is Kimani. I only have one question. What will you tell your kids if you don't have one Bitcoin in future? Saiko 30K. Ebu niambie. What will you tell your kids?
My name is Mumo. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. Now, listen, currency is invented so that it can facilitate trade. That's a reason why the US dollar is this powerful. Now, the US dollar is controlled by the US. However, Bitcoin is not controlled by any government. The rules, kindly, let me finish. I wasn't doing a 30-second comment. The rules were set once. That means that if you get involved in Bitcoin, you know what you're getting into. When you get into other coins, what is happening is these are tokens to finance projects. They are not currencies. A currency supply needs to be fixed so that if I earn money today, tomorrow I can be able to pass on more value to my children and it can go on. That's the reason why fiat is failing, because the supply is infinity. Next, currency needs to be interoperable without borders. That is Bitcoin. Next, inclusivity and simplicity must be at the core of currency. If you try and explain the 23,000 currencies to your grandmother, it is not possible. We are not saying that the other projects do not have value. We are not refusing that. But when it comes to currency, there can only be something that is explainable and easy to understand to everyone. The rules and goalposts on how you can earn money need to be known from the start. If you're going to create a currency, then everyone who's going to come in needs to have an equal chance of earning that money and then being able to use it next time. Lastly, Bitcoin has the best chance to be the world reserve currency. Why? Because all countries can never agree to allow another country to be the reserve currency. That's a story of BRICS today. And if Bitcoin is going to be the world reserve currency, it has to be outside and out of the control of everyone else. If you want to come in, we all come in at the same time. Thank you very much.
So, again, clap yourself for the contributions and everything. It's been amazing. Now, a lot of questions have been raised, and it makes me kind of surprised that we are like over 100 in this room. And I submit to you today this point. Bitcoin white paper is 9 pages and a total of 303,583 words. Okay? You probably talk up to 10,000, 50,000 words in a day. So make time at least to read a paragraph of the Bitcoin white paper each day. It will help you a lot, because some questions here, okay, we respect everyone's opinions, but I hope you understand, right? So a lot of questions that were asked can be referred back to the Bitcoin white paper. In the interest of time, maybe you can skip that for a moment, but there are some that I'll respond to. One is from my favorite YouTuber, Momo. And I don't doubt that Bitcoin is on the path to become the world reserve currency, okay? Simply because of its popularity and its nature. Now, another gentleman here said that we need to, define all these other terms, value and everything. Let me tell you, today we can agree in this room, if this was the only bottle in this room of water, it will be valuable, okay? So value is created when people agree on something, right? And on the issue of governance and centralization, there are other projects out here that are way, way more decentralized, and people make decisions with tokens, okay? It's called governance. You'll explore that on your own, all right? Now, Bitcoin being the only true cryptocurrency doesn't sit right with me. It is a cryptocurrency, has all the features of a cryptocurrency, but it's not the only one. Someone brought an issue about Bangla Pesa. Now, let me tell you, it was first invented around 2013, even before Ethereum came in. Bangla Pesa. It is used in some slum in Mombasa called Bangladesh. All right? And the reasons that that community decided to own this money is because of the problems they were facing. The same problems that the entire cryptocurrency space is trying to address. Well, we have one goal. It's like we are at the base of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The end goal is decentralization. Okay? So we might do all these other things, contribute all other projects here, but the end goal is decentralization. My friend Rufus talked about sovereignty, individual sovereignty. All right? Now, to be honest, right now, Bitcoin doesn't give someone who is just graduated from campus the ability to grow economically and to improve the social status. Let me tell you why. What Bitcoin right now is above $30,000. You're from campus. In Kenya, there's a famous saying, and anataka help me translate this, kwa ground vitu ni? Thank you. So you need to factor in the problems people are facing and try to bring in solutions that address those problems. If my problem is poverty, Bitcoin isn't for me right now. Thank you.
Okay, I'll start my closing remarks by thanking each and everyone for having the time to come for this debate. I'm very privileged and happy to be here with all of you, regardless of me being a maxi. It's a privilege to meet all of you, and yes, I also have a lot of friends on the other side. So nitaanza hapa kwa mambo ni different. Nimkosoe kidogo kwanza. I'm very sure uko na so moja kwa mfuko yako sahi, kwa hivyo naweza kukutumia Bitcoin ya so moja, so stop pretending you must buy one Bitcoin. So I'll answer 2 questions and then my brother will answer the rest. I'll answer Yvonne's question, which is close to what Faiza asked, and then Bright's question. So in regards to jobs, I'm fully cognizant that the blockchain space and different shitcoins have given a lot of opportunity to people in this room. But the one thing which I'll say, and this came out of a conversation I had personally with Rufus, which I totally agreed with him, was that the line that we put clearly is, you can have this DAO to help whatever, you can have this token to do this and that. But when you cross the line to say that Ethereum is money, now you are being disingenuous. Because you yourself will not go to your mom, to your boyfriend, to your girlfriend, to any loved one and tell them to invest in Ethereum as money. But you can go and tell them you are going to have fun with this token that maybe you are drawing, maybe you are playing World of Warcraft or any other video game, and then you buy this token to buy this sword so that you can slay that dragon. That makes sense. Okay? So that is my answer to that question. For Bright, yes, in regards to the value aspect of it. Firstly, it's a pleasure to meet you, yes. So in regards to the value, what I can say is there are Bitcoin projects which are going out of their way specifically to empower people, especially in the, I don't like saying this, but like social economic ladder and everything. So if I can give like a brief story, like there was a time there's a Built with Bitcoin school in Machakos County. I went and I did an event there, even Mumu was there, and we did different classes, right? Educating people about Bitcoin. And then now there was this specific mzee who had a feature phone like this. So at that point, Machankura had not been invented, right? So we had to tell this mzee, kindly mzee, right now you can't participate in the Bitcoin like ecosystem. But through like basically like let's say 1 month after that, someone called Okin from Namibia raised that query on Twitter, and my friend from South Africa, Kogatso, took that challenge and said he will make Machankura in 2 weeks. So when I went back after a month, I was actually in a position to send this Mzee SATs on his feature phone. So that is true value machinani. So now what people in Bitcoin layer 2 are building are this, like making it acknowledging the real challenges on the ground, and then addressing those challenges by building applications like that to solve the problems. Thank you.
I wish we could talk about like explaining blockchain and smart contracts, but we assume people actually already know that. So I'll start from the best use cases for Ethereum is decentralized platforms, such as like P2P, Uber. You can think even of Uber, right? You can decentralize, you can build an entire Uber application on top of Ethereum. The only difference is that there is no executives who actually run a centralized company. Now, everybody benefits from the system. The person who actually, the Uber driver, can benefit from the platform itself because it makes profits, returns the profits back to its DAO, and some pieces also back to the users themselves. So everybody benefits from the entire platforms. And we can go as far as talk about, like, it's endless. Think about any platform you think about and think about it in a very decentralized way, and you can build it on top of Ethereum. And then we also have tokenization. So for example, we can buy art, but one person cannot buy art worth $1 million. So we can actually split it to 10,000 people, and we can each contribute $100 to the platform itself. And we can actually own the entire art together as one, all written into the blockchain itself. That's actually fractional ownership, asset ownership. And then we have, as a payment layer, Ethereum is actually, yes, Ethereum is money too. Yeah. Ethereum is money, so it also can be used as a payment layer. On top of it, actually, it also supports stable coins. Nope, you don't. And stable coins are pretty much, you cannot completely eliminate fiat, because fiat has to be, even right now we use Kenya shillings to pay things from shops. 90% of the times, he cannot tell me he bought bread every day for the last 2 years using Bitcoin. It's just been cash. It's been Kenya shilling, it's been the dollar. The dollar is actually accepted much better than actually Bitcoin or even Ethereum itself. But Ethereum supports the dollar on top of it. And then we have sovereign, we talk about individual sovereign, because there's decentralized platforms. We have, for example, we have Women's DAO right there. They make decisions together by using their own tokenization system, by voting using their tokens and ownership of the tokens in the platform itself. So governance is actually possible in Ethereum. And then finally is one thing I think Bitcoin lacks, but I think also it needs to build in itself, is actually social recovery. We talked about if you, let's say your phone burned down, or maybe your papers burned down and you put your mnemonic phrase, the 12 words, you forgot one word and so forth. If you do forget one word, you're technically messed up. Now, Ethereum shipped something called EIP 4844, which actually allows recovery of accounts using your friend's phone number, your OAuth, your email addresses, your social logins, which is like meaning that even if now you lose everything about your account and you connected it to your email address, you can still recover your account. And now I'll just finish early. Ethereum is money, but there's a difference. Go and research about triple point assets, triple point currencies. Ethereum is the only one in the planet that actually does that. So it's much better than even a currency at its basis. I'm done.
Just like Satoshi built the Bitcoin blockchain and whatever features are attached to it in 2008, and he did not make noise about it, a lot of us are not paying attention to what is happening on Bitcoin. Guys, I want to inform you, there are smart contracts on Bitcoin. Bro, you spoke. There are smart contracts on Bitcoin. They do not introduce a new currency. There are NFTs on Bitcoin. There are ordinals. We don't even call them NFTs because we are afraid they might be related to whatever it's doing. No, but NFTs is the most common term. Now I'm speaking to the people who have done a bit of research. There are NFTs, you're able to deploy smart contracts, you're able to receive. I want any crypto that can be sent on this phone. I would like to meet the next one, right? knowing where Africa is right now, we can't be innovating for this and that. If you're able to send currency through such a phone, you're reaching more than 70% of the world. It's not just, pardon? It's not just about building whatever we want to build to solve the problem that we have in our pockets. It's about something that will achieve a middle ground for everyone. You can't build for Chibera and forget Chivulu. We also have our own challenges. But we are saying when a person from Chivulu and Chibera meet, they should be able to speak the same monetary language. Right? So go ahead and build. Make your tokens. But when we talk about true, something that should bring us together as money should be one. We shouldn't be opting to go for different monies for different people. That is when you start to separate. I'd written a few things down, but the most important thing is here. Do your own research. Every project that stands in front of you, except for even us Bitcoiners, we are biased because we know what goes on. Every project that stands in front of you is selling something. Find out what they are selling. Because as much as they are giving you an airdrop of $100, that $100 will be taken from 15 different people across the world. And it will become 1,500 into one person's pocket. So guys, as we go about this crypto thing, let's know that we are industry leaders. Let's do particular research about what we are handing to the people. Because at the end of the day, I have worked with something that has collapsed. You do not want that pressure. You do not want the guilt. If you told someone who had $1 and that $1 was kept in a coin and that coin tomorrow is not there, guys, it's going to be very bad for you. I promise you. I am not threatening you. I'm making a call for action. No, I'm seriously making a call for action that we stop this up and down. We know what is happening. We can get the information. If you have an internet connection and curiosity, you will find this information.
So from the first poll, I know some of us were not here. We did a poll at the beginning of this debate, and 40% were proposing the motion. Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency, while 60% opposed, okay? So we are going to do the polls again. Do you go back to the same link? All right, we go back to the same link. Kindly www.live, is it live polls? www.livepolls.app/ www.livepolls.app/ usipige kura mara mbili. One is enough. 7, if you are voting, please vote now so that we close. We have 61. 61. Because ndio hiyo, it has submitted. Ulianza mapema. All right, we have 62. Be it resolved that Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency. And to believe 62. Is anyone still voting? Please vote. Please vote. Please vote. Please vote. Guys, let's finish this. Please vote. Anyone still voting? Anyone still voting? Anyone still voting? All right, 93. Anyone still voting? Okay. If there's no one else who'd like to close it at that. Okay, 1 more minute. We are at 100, 1 more minute. What's happening? Okay, let's close. Let's close. You cannot vote twice. Okay, vote. Every vote counts. You cannot vote twice, so relax. What? All right. Okay, please allow me to close the votes. It has refused. Can what? All right, guys. Hello. So, we are officially closing. From the first poll, please listen from the first poll. We had 40% proposing and 60% opposing. Now, I want you to realize that since we had 68 people at the beginning and we have 119 now, this research already has issues, right? But it's important to have an approximate, okay? So the percentage now, at first we had 40% proposing and 60% opposing. Now we have, out of 121 people who have voted, the proposers, please put this in percentage so that it gives a better perspective. Kama una calculator, chukua calculate 52 over 122 times 100. Utuambie ni nini? 20 kisonga. 45%. 42. So now, So now we have 42% proposing. That effectively makes the opposing side 58%. 58%, which means the proposers managed to convince 2% of the audience. All right, just 1 or 2 seconds of remarks, then conclude.
Thanks, everyone. My name is Shaila. I'm from Kamusi DAO, and I just want to make something clear. Whether you're an altcoiner or whether you're a Bitcoin maxi, at the end of the day, the language is what matters. We need to disseminate this language, and we're breaking it down and changing it and translating it into Kiswahili, so even our regulators can understand what the hell is going on. So please, I need all of you to go to the whiteboard or join our DAO or join our Twitter spaces and build this language so that we can actually own it and build the solutions for people who need it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. So, I think I'd like to call this debate to a close. Please feel free. You can take photos with the placards. There are also snacks there in case you want to help yourself to some. Feel free to also network, connect. And if you're interested to partner for the Kenya Cryptocurrency and Blockchain Conference, Dennis will be here. You can be able to see him, and then we can plan forward. All right? Okay. Have a good night, and take care of yourselves. Bye.
like to extend our gratitude to all the participants for showing up in overwhelming numbers for the debate. I'd also like to thank our debaters for preparing for this worthwhile debate and making sure that they fight their way through their arguments. I'd also like to lastly thank our partners for collaborating and ensuring that the debate was a success. Thank you.